there, my name is Jackson. Welcome to SMC Garage. Today I'm super excited to be sharing with you that I'm starting the painting project on my 2003 Nissan Stagea. So as you can see here, the paint on the roof is really disgusting. So that what's happened is, because this is an import from Japan, the sun there is crazy. And it actually bakes the clear coat from these vehicles. And when I first got it, it wasn't that bad. But what happened was I attempted to wrap it because the clear coat had faded so bad. So I tried to wrap it and I suck at wrapping. Anyway, it started to peel off, so I took it off. And unfortunately it took the paint with it. So a couple months later now, we can see that it started to rust and unfortunately looks even worse. So today we're gonna be tackling that. So we're gonna start with sanding, priming, painting, and then finally polishing. So what you're gonna be needing for this is safety first, starting with a good respirator or a good mask of some sort. Next is tape, painter's tape. You don't wanna be sanding stuff you don't wanna be sanding. So I'm talking about the trim up here and the trim across your windshield and anywhere else that you're painting or sanding, mask it off. Do the steps, do the prep early on so that later on you'll have better results and you won't have to come back and deal with the hassles of your mistakes. I'd recommend some sort of sander. You can do this by hand. It's just gonna take a lot longer. And to save some time, this is a cheapo one from Princess Auto. I think it cost me like 50 bucks and then 20 bucks worth of sandpaper. Worth it 100%. Our goal for this is to kind of fade it in. I don't want to have to strip the whole roof down to bare metal. So what we're going to do is see if we can almost fade this part back into what is considered good paint halfway through the roof, just to get it to the point where we can paint it and see if we can blend it in. That's going to save a lot of time. We're going to see if that works or not, but I guess we'll just have to see. Time will tell. So let's get started. Fast forward to the next day, what we're going to do is finish scuffing up the rest of the roof to prep the surface for paint. And basically why I'm doing this and not using the sandpaper is because I want to feather the new paint into the old, because half the roof is okay and then the front half is really terrible. So we're going to get going with that. Now while the rest of the water bakes off in the sun, I'm going to start doing prep. And then otherwise just taping up the rest of the car, throwing some plastic sheets over it, and that's about it. Now we're going to grab our plastic sheets that we got yesterday, and we're going to drape the rest of the car. Because overspray is no joke, and it absolutely sucks to get off. So what I got here is a new microfiber towel and some degreaser. It's degreaser that doesn't leave behind any residue, so that's important. So I'm just gonna give it one last wipe, then we can get into some painting. Bruh, I'm actually an idiot and I left the paint inside the car. So now I gotta figure out a way in after I tape it up. So I'm going to be using this Duplicolor paint and primer in one. We're to see how this works. I figured to be able to fade it easier from the front part of the roof to the back part, which the paint isn't too bad, to be able to fade it, I wanted to go with something black. And then I was like, oh, well, if I'm already doing black, let's try paint and primer in one. So we'll see how it goes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I gotta redo it, which is kind of crappy, but it is what it is. We'll try it. If it works, great. You can try it yourself. If it doesn't, then don't do it.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
So we're at the point where we've done 3 coats. They're pretty solid coats. And now we're just waiting for this to dry, and then we'll go in with a clear coat.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
So now with the clear coat on, it still kind of looks crappy, but I'm pretty sure that I can get all this stuff out when I do wet sanding. So we'll let this kind of tack up for a little bit, and then we can pull off our masking and see how it turned out. So where we currently sit is this weird kind of matte finish that we've got, even though I did do a couple coats of clear coat. It is a little weird. We'll see if that's something that disappears when we try to wet sand it in the next video. But if not, I may have to do another coat of clear. I'm unsure if this is something that has happened just because of the heat outside, like the black paint is almost baked the clear before it has time to almost pool.
So am I happy with the way it turned out? No. I think it looks actually kind of bad. But I kind of knew that that was a possibility going into this. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I mad? No. Because mistakes happen and we learn from our mistakes. So after talking with a few people, it seems like what was going on, why the clear coat turned out so crappy, was because the black paint was almost too hot. So instead of the clear coat having time to kind of be sprayed on and then it almost pool or expand, if you will, it just pretty much dried right on the spot. So that's why it kind of has that weird matte texture. So I'm gonna see about wet sanding it and then see if that helps. If not, what I'll have to do is re-clear coat it, which isn't a huge deal.
I'm gonna have to make this video 2 parts, so thank you for watching this part. Come back for part 2. We're gonna do wet sanding and polishing, and maybe even some more clear coat, unfortunately. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So thank you for watching SMC Garage. Stay tuned for the next vid.